this is going really slow. I don't even know if I should just do it from here and then let you guys, take it from there because it's just really not helping me out. I'm not getting it. It's not really working for me. Um, System is old. That's what it is. System is old and not really cool. Okay, so let's go. Here we go. Let's do this now. Yeah, thank you. Still nothing. So yeah, output. Let's see. Yeah, I think I would have had. I think it would have been better if I just would have recorded it. Yeah, I kind of knew that. So um, I'm just gonna go ahead. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, as such viewers will experience buffering. So okay, so you guys will experience buffering. That's what it's telling me now. So whack, 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 whack. Don't like it. I should have recorded it. I should have listened to myself. But oh well. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna let it go, and I don't even care right now. I'm just gonna say what I gotta say, and if you guys will watch it later, then that's fine. If not, at this point, I'm beyond attempting to go into it and try to fix it. But as I'm speaking, I'm hearing what I said earlier, so that's interrupting me and my thought process because of the buffering. So this is too bad, so sad. Um, so anyway, I'm gonna try to get as much information out as I can. Um, with this buffering that's driving me crazy. So what we were talking about was um, I just lost all train of thought with regards to what this conversation was going to be about. So I mean, basically, what we were going to talk about is um, why you're not really living the life that you were given. Stream health looks good. Okay, let's go. Nope. Oh, look, there's no volume. What? There we go. Oh, I got it like that. Excuse me. Sorry. All right, I'm gonna do it like that. So now I'm playing the video. If somebody can tell me, they can, whoever's watching, can you hear it? Because I just want to turn off the audio so that it doesn't interrupt my thought process. This way, I'll just continue. It doesn't even matter. And then maybe later on we can look at it again. But anyway, so the topic was how do you how do you know um or realize, or how do you realize your purpose on this earth, right? Um and how do you know if you're gonna complete it? But truth of the matter is, the reason that most people are unhappy is because they know they have a purpose, but they just don't know what it is. The reason you don't know what your purpose is because you've been given an indoctrination to serve others, to serve other entities outside of your own purpose. This is why you don't know what your purpose is. So what you do day in and day out is not internal work. It's external for the benefit of someone else and not you, not your soul. So when does this occur? When does this happen? Why does it happen? And what's the major purpose? What's the overall um, reason that this is happening? There are a lot of reasons, but let's go to some of the very um, simplistic reasons, right? So remember, we talk about conditioning all the time because it's very important that you understand what that is, what it's used for. Um, and in a nutshell, basically, it's used to extract your energy, not allow you to have your own energy, and to use your energy for something else other than you. I don't know if you guys think that's selfish, but what I think is selfish is that someone else is using your energy for their benefit, but yet you don't know anything about that, but yet you don't understand it, but yet you don't see it. But this is how it is. You're incomplete all the time. You're sad, you're upset, your emotions are running rampant. And reason I say this is because I know these are the things that I know. And again, on this channel, what we do is we don't talk about what we believe in, right? Because this is not belief. I'm not talking about belief. I'm talking about knowing, understanding, and knowing what we're talking about, what we're thinking about, how we're feeling about things. These are the things that we have to know. Can't guess at this kind of stuff. You have to understand it. How do you know? I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. You know these things, but it has been hidden from you. It has been taken from you. And so, therefore, it's something that you lose sight of as you go on through life. Because life is a mechanic, right? It's a mechanic. You're a mechanism in a body of a machine that you're a part of, but there is no individuality. But when you got here, remember, you beat out a million other attempts or more. So not only did you beat out a million other cells to get to that egg, to come to this planet as an individual, but in a physical sense, in a soul sense, that's universal. That's part of everything. There's a natural law to that fact. Now, when you're a child, the first people to place um that hold on you are your parents, and not because they chose to, not because they deliberately said, I'm going to hold my child back from what they should be doing in this life, from who they should be in this life. No, they have also been trained to do the same, but by who they don't know, they don't remember, they didn't record it, they didn't understand it. um and it was too much of a fight to try to get it, to try to acquire the knowledge to give it to their children. So what they did, it robotically, they stumped their children's future. And here's the first understanding of how that's done. Remember when you were a kid? I hardly remember anything. I had so much fucking trauma in my life, it was ridiculous, right? So my whole goal for a while was to learn about myself and understand why I feel the way I feel. Why do I go through the things that I go through? Is this what my life is going to be? This is what I am destined to be. Is this my purpose in life? Is to be emotional, causing harm to others, to myself, to my family? Is that my purpose? I'm sorry, I'm drinking water. So these questions that I had came on after life. So in the beginning, in the onset, your parents, were the ones to set you up for failure. Again, not through their own fault. As you go in life, you hate your parents. And they don't understand why you go through the puberty and all this emotional and mental stress and change and trauma. So when you actually understand, when did that start? When did your destiny begin to be destroyed, begin to be taken from you? So that moment when you are asked, and listen, this is very simple. However, it is very powerful. Very, very powerful. Because the end result is you in this life not having understanding of your purpose. So I'm gonna get there, but it's very important that you understand those small aspects, right? So you go, or your parents, or you to your children, and you say to them, or the school system, because basically that's where it begins. And your parents got it from the school system that they were attending when they were children, so on and so forth goes the insanity. The question was, what do you want to be when you grow up? Write that down. That was the question that puts you on an external voyage to some outside accomplishment that completely separated you from your soul. Just that question in itself. Think about that question. What do you want to be when you grow up? And here were your options. You want to be a firefighter? You want to be a police officer? You want to be a lawyer? Would you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be a judge? Do you want to be a politician? Do you want to be the president? Those were your options. Those are your options as a child. As a child in a state of theta, which all you do is absorb because you're in a lower consciousness. When this question is posed, you're giving at this time. Now listen, this goes back, right? This is what we're doing. We're reconditioning these indoctrinations that we've been given, right? So you look at it and it says, hey, you can be this, and that. Automatically you put yourself in a category. Hey, here I am, this is what I want to be, this is what I want to be. So now you are no longer an individual with a single purpose. You have the purpose for you is to accomplish this mission that was given to you, which for most of us, in most of our situations, will not accomplish it. And if we do, unhappily so, do you get to that point where you begin to understand that you are not living the life that you were giving, but you are being trained to live a life that you are being told. So that's where it begins. And it could begin somewhere else for others, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it, because when you're at home with your mom and your dad, you're doing whatever, they take care of you, and it also can begin where, well, that's the beginning in terms of separating you from yourself, right? Is that at home as well, you begin to have the rules and the regulations, and the word no is a rough frequency, right? No. The word yes, as an adult, you begin to use my group, my age group. I'm 45, so I don't know about kids today. I try to understand it, but it's all the same. It's all relative, right? So you go in and you say, hey, or your parents, or you tell your children, hey, don't touch that. Don't touch that. No. When it's something dangerous and they know it's dangerous. However, they're not explaining to you that that fire or that hot water has its own purpose. And you, as the entity that you are, cannot partake and cannot intermingle with that sole purpose, because that is a different energy here on this plane. So with these type of explanations, then the child will begin to understand. However, that's not what this planet is made for you to do. You're not put here to understand. That's not. Your whole life you're gonna try to understand, and you're only gonna be able to get it when you're dead. And who's gonna care then, right? Sorry, I'm still a little sick, so I'm coughing. So that's where it begins. There, okay. So now you're set up. Set up for what? Set up to do exactly what for who? Is it for you? Is it for, oh, you're helping society? People have all these type of reasons. They're just reasons, it's not the purpose. So you come here, you came here, you beat out a million other entities that tried to come and through your dad's phallus and into your, ejaculate the energy into your mother's ovaries and the egg, yada yada, right? But why you? Why you? Why did you have the strength, the virility, the power to run that gauntlet and make it? Why you? When you're put here, I hope you guys can hear me, man. I really do, because I can't. I'm not listening to myself because it's just double playing, and that's driving me crazy. But it looks like it. I mean, I don't know. It looks like it. So anyway, um, I don't know what's going on. So anyway. This is my first one, so I'm kind of happy. It's cool. Um, um, it's cool, man. I'm gonna keep on doing it anyway. So, like I said, you know, um, that's where it begins. That's where it begins. That's where it starts. That's where you begin to not be you anymore. And the rest of your life, you're trying to figure out who you are and what's your purpose. Because that's what's happening. That's what's going on. That's what has been led. That's the life that you have been given. It's not the life that you took, or it's not the life that you came in and when you were born, right? Give me a second, guys. I'm doing a message here. See if I can send this out to Facebook, which just doesn't look like it's working. So all your life, you're trying to figure out who you are. Who am I? What is my purpose? Your purpose was taken away from you the moment, again, when you were limited to a certain type of of human destiny. That's when you lost your true purpose. That's when you were separated from the real you. You were giving rules and regulations to follow. You were giving a particular type of reality. Okay? So now that you know that, now that you know and you understand what happened, how you got to this point right now in your life where you're empty, you're sad, depressed, all these emotions. I'm going through that. I've been through that. When I was on the ship, um, I had a little breakdown emotionally, but um, it helped me understand and realize more things than I wanted to, or that I was blind to. I need to take some water because it's making me thirsty. Sorry. So I've been on 19 minutes. The first couple of minutes was horrible, y'all. So please forgive me. But it looks like it's working a little better. So, um, what I was thinking about, all the damage and things of that nature that I did. What's up, whoever joined? I don't know. I can't see you because I'm on some option that I don't even know if I'm supposed to be here. But anyway, um, and that's sad because I'm having so much trouble right now with the streaming. I was kind of hoping that it would be better, but it's okay. It's my first live stream. I took a recommendation, and I'm doing it. So, it is what it is. So, anyway, um, okay, I think I can watch it on here. Let's check this out. So, now I can see. Now I can see. Yeah, 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 yeah. Here we go. Well, that was loud. This is why. This is why I can't do it. Listen, y'all leave y'all comments, man, because I can't really talk and listen at the same time because it's driving me crazy. Okay. Um. Can you guys make a comment? Somebody make a comment, please. Tell me if you can hear me. Tell me, the sucky part of the first part of the video because it was really horrible. But please leave a comment right here, anywhere. Say hello. Okay, so we can talk. Hello. Can you hear me? What's up, A? I didn't know that was you. So here's what's going on, man. I'm talking and I'm hearing it. But then if I go to my studio, I'm good, but it doesn't work for me to come on here and see the comments because it starts buffering. If I stop, see it's buffering now. Okay. All right. It's just it's working slow, man. I gotta figure it out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna close this window out. The window that I'm on is where I can see the comments and things of that nature. So if you look in the corner, you press the little the exclamation point. You see there's a little question there. So if you guys want to answer that question, go right ahead. Maybe we can discuss it later. All right. So yeah, that'll be cool. All right, here we go. I'm gonna close this window now. Here we go. I close the window. Let's see what happens. So, the window that I'm on, I can only see the people that are watching. I can't see any comments, but please leave your comments, subscribe, share, like. I had a little bit of difficulty at the beginning of the video. Maybe I'll be able to edit it later on and then equally send it out again. If not, then I'm not even worried about it because it's live and whoever's been on me, which is my little brother, anybody else, it's all good. Um, I'm learning and this is part of learning. Um, I'm not ashamed to fall. It's part of life. So, yeah. Anyway, so the moment that you were given a role, because that's what it is, right? And it even goes into what we're talking about: love your soul, not your role. So the moment that you were given a role was the moment that your soul was taken from you. As simple as that. As simple as that. However, it continues throughout your entire life. So you're working, you get all the material necessities that you think are necessities, right? Um, you buy a car, you buy a house, you do this for this person, this for that person, and you believe you're living a good life, right? Okay, all right. You go to church, they tell you if you commit any sins, you're gonna go to hell, or if you're good, you're gonna go to heaven. Blah blah blah, right? So now another control mechanism to keep you away from being your real soul is fear. Right now you're in fear. Somebody's texting me. I'm sorry, guys. So now you're in fear to be you, to be the real you. Now, who is the real you? Let me tell you who the real you is. The real you is that kid before you were given those roles in school, before your parents began to ignorantly so
destroy the human that you were going to be and the soul that you are supposed to transcend into. They didn't know. A lot of information as this has been destroyed. A lot of information as this has been kept away from us. Us meaning who? Us, the slaves, right? That's who I'm talking about. Us, the people who need this information. But you don't look for the information because you have never been conditioned to look for it. You don't look for it. You don't need it. It's not something that you're looking to accomplish. It's not something that you're looking to keep, to know, because you're being told that your role is to be this, that, and the third. Your role is not to figure anything out. It's already figured out for you. This is why you lose touch with your destiny. This is why you lose touch, but you lose focus. You lose love for your soul. You lose what should be the most cherished thing that you have in this life. So if you lose that, who keeps it? Who keeps your soul if you lose your soul? Let's talk about Kobe Bryant, man. Right? Let's talk about my nephew who's not here, right? Let's talk about those that passed. Robin Williams, all the people that we know, all the stars. I just lost somebody recently. And he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot for the little amount of time that I knew him. In a sense, in a way, he taught me how to be um, patient, how to listen, how to how to solve things in your life. He taught me those things, and I know he's where he needs to be. I don't, so that's a lot, right? It's a lot to talk about. It's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to understand. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to try and change. That's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot because being conditioned on a daily basis. You're being conditioned on a still even till today on a daily basis. So this is a battle that you're going to be battling till the day you die, and even in death, you'll be battling this indoctrination, this false reality. In order to get out of this false reality, you need to recondition your subconscious in a habitual manner so that your consciousness can be aware of what it needs to do and what to get you where you need to be. So again, how do you know?
I hope you guys didn't hear me. You guys didn't hear what I said. That's horrible. Anyway, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. I'll do it for 2 hours. I don't care. So anyway, those were one of the things that you were set up with, right? That role that you needed to play, which took away from you, who you needed to be, who you're going to be. Now, here's a couple of examples. I was talking about Robin Williams. You guys didn't hear it, but I was talking about Robin Williams. Yep. See, you didn't hear anything I said, but that's okay. I'm gonna get back on point. Luckily, I noticed. It's all good. I'm not gonna stop. Um. So I'm just seeing if it's catching up. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when when you're told when you commit a sin, you're gonna go to hell, or if you be good, you're gonna go to heaven. What do you think that is? Think about that. Think about when somebody tells you if you commit a sin, you're gonna go to hell. But if you're good and you follow these rules, you're gonna go to heaven. Where does that put your state of mind? Where does that put your soul? Where does that put your present your future, and your past. It puts you in a state of fear. So when you do things in a state of fear, you're really not doing what you want to do. You're doing things because you're afraid. Simple. You're doing it because you're afraid. Because you've been taught to be afraid by your parents. And no fault of their own. And I'm going to stop saying that because I've already said it, but no fault of their own. Um, so you're going to be afraid when you die. And when you die, just as on this planet, there's going to be something and it's going to ask you, what role do you want to play? And whatever kind of role they have in that, because I forgot everything from there, but I'm sure I'm gonna see it again. What kind of role do you want? And you're gonna be put in the same reality that you were put on this planet. You're gonna be put in your own transcendence, unless you get yourself away from that. And it is a difficult thing to try and comprehend. However, it is not something difficult to do. First and foremost, you need to love your soul. First and foremost, you need to fight for your soul because your soul has been fighting for you all this time. As long as however long you've been on this earth, 30, 20, 15 years, however long you've been here. Right? So, in order to practice those kind of things, you need to understand why is it being done. But when you understand why is it being done, then you have to understand where is that going to take you once it's all done. Who created this stuff? Who put this together so that you fighting to come here, got here to basically be a slave for something? What happened at in that point? How can you figure that out? What's stopping you from figuring that out? What is alienating you from being part of who you are? What? One second, guys. So these are things that you have to ask yourself. These are things that you have to sit down and honestly say to yourself that there is somewhere, somehow, you're going to make a change. Because if you don't, you're going to come right back to this place. And this is not a place you want to come back to. I don't want to come back to this place. This place is out of control. You already see the things that people do. So now let's get back to how do you know that you're you, right? How do you know that you're actually not the robot that you've been conditioned to be? How do you know that you've gotten to the point where you are now aware of your situation? That you are now aware of the soul that gave you this life? How do you get to that point? How do you know? How do you understand that? Good question. Good question. Great question. Great question. So, once you begin to love your soul, it's going to take you so far into being out of the reality that you understand to be true. It's going to take you out of it. It's going to take you out of it. Because now you're internalizing the processes of thoughts that you've been given. And you're asking the questions. And hear me out, please. Don't bother yourself with finding an answer. Not necessary. Okay? Because the answer is going to be given to you, but you don't bother yourself with that. Ask the question. And then don't even sit back and think about it. Ask the question, write it down. You know, I always say write something down that you want to know, right? Write it down, put it away. You're eventually going to have a dream about it. You're eventually going to have a symbol about it. Something's going to tell you something because that's the way natural law, which is also a law that was created by something, but that's the way that works. You don't need guidance for that. The only guidance that you need is guidance to survive here on this planet. That's all you need. You don't need no guidance to understand who you are. Because for the rest of your life, if you've been brought up in the Western indoctrination system, just like I have, you're going to be trying to figure out who you are. Do you think that that's your purpose, to try to figure out who you are? That's your purpose at the end of the day? Oh, now I know who I am. You're dead. Does it matter that you know who you are once you're dead? Because the knowledge and the information that you acquire here, of course, is the consciousness that's going to be gone once you leave this plane, once you leave this dimension. So the material is no longer a fact. However, the information still exists. Now, your memory is an accumulation of your experiences, right? You picked it up every day. You picked it up every day. That's what creates memories. Remember, the video that we were talking about, that I did, I made it really small. Remember that video? It had that in there. Create new memories. Okay, so these are yours to make. You make these. So if you make your own memories, how are you doing that? How are you doing that exactly? Have you asked yourself that? But it is impossible for you to understand how you make your memories. It is impossible for you to understand how you involve what you call this life into an action that will create a memory. Because this life is not built for you to do that. Now, you've had deja vus. Everybody's had deja vus. You know, you see things that happen. I've been here before because you have. Somebody's texting me. Sorry, guys. Because you have. You've been here before, right? So if you've been here before and you're here again, what happened? Why did you come back? What was the purpose of you coming back? Do you understand that? Look at that one right there. So if you knew what you're supposed to know to get out of this place and not come back, why are you back? You don't know why you're back. Were you creating memories when you were in the ether, wherever you were before here, the omni cosmos? Did you create memories there? Your dreams, where do they come from? Now, you can say that the study of dreams has a certain distinctive scientific category or a breakdown. You can say that, fine. You can go read the books about it and everything. Cool, great. But don't allow the understanding of someone else and the fractionalization of information to influence how to get to your soul. I'm only giving you things that I know. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not lying to you. I'm not gonna misguide you. I'm not doing that. Because I don't need you to be powerful. I don't need you. I don't need your energy. I have my own energy, and this is my energy right here. You're seeing it. This is it. So for me, I got this candy in my mouth. I need it. I'm not even gonna put it out there because I think they probably give me like a X mark or something. But anyway, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I just wasn't old enough to to do it according to human law, right? But I've been doing it all my life. I've been doing it all my life, all my life. I've been teaching people all my life. That's what I'm here to do. Um, so when you're able to understand who you are and what you're here for, what then? First of all, how you get there, that's one thing you got to discuss. You got to understand. You have to dissect. You have to analyze, and then let it go, because you don't need that information. That information is for here. You're already doing everything that you're supposed to do. I hope. right? You're working, you're taking care of your family, you're an upstanding citizen, you follow the rules. Hopefully you're compassionate or whatever the case may be. If not, then so be it. But if you're doing what the answer is going to be this: when you are totally, totally at ease, totally, totally comfortable in doing whatever it is that you do, then that's for your purpose. Period. And let's go to the animal kingdom. Animals, man, listen, some animals, I don't know which animals they are, but I know that there's an animal. Some of them are bugs. They live for a couple of months, not even a couple of days, have babies and die. I think some of them are like some insects. I don't know. Um, of course, lower form of life in terms of intelligence and things of that nature and conscious. Yeah, but it's still a life nonetheless. Nonetheless, it's still a life. Still serve the purpose. Procreate and die. The simplest form of a purpose you can probably um distinguish. Um, but you know, like I say, we don't discuss anything that we believe. We discuss things that we know. Now, when you read a book, and this book, what's the book's purpose first and foremost? How do you internalize the information second of all? And how do you apply that information if need be? What's the purpose of that book in your life? When you're watching this video, what's the purpose of this video in your life? You're here for a reason. You're here for a reason, right? You're here. You could be somewhere else. You could be watching football. You could be doing you. It's all good. Don't matter, right? But if you understand where this is going to take you, where this type of information is going to take you, you have to understand that the information that you're acquiring on a daily basis is going to get you to that point where you're going to understand your purpose. So once you understand your purpose, yeah, Lou, yeah, Age, I see you now. Yes, yes, yes. He did teach me some things, man. He really did. He was an awesome guy. He will always be awesome. And there are some things that I manage now that I learned from him. Oh, and I can see the comments. Yay! Check you out. So you know what I just did? I just scrolled down the page and boom, I see the comments. So yeah, the beginning of this video was horrible, but it's awesome. I know how to do it now. Yeah. I just need to check some more settings and things like that. So anyway, again, once you understand what your purpose is, what then? What what will you do with that information? What will you do with that information? You will never ever get to the point where you're going to say, this is my purpose. Because there is nothing outside of you. There is nothing outside of you that fits the purpose of your soul. Nothing. Nothing. There is nothing that you could save somebody's life, become a doctor, none of those things are gonna shape the purpose of your soul. None of it. Because that is not your soul doing it, that is you. You meaning who? Who's you? Who is that? Right? You is the manufactured, conditioned machine to be a part of a bigger machine. So that's not enough. That's not gonna be enough to get you where you need to be. You have to look inside of you to figure that out. And once you do, I'm telling you right now, I do this every day. I know what it is. I'm me. I'm me all day, every day, wherever I go. I don't care what anybody says about me. I don't care what people think. And I used this as an excuse when I was younger to do what the hell whatever I wanted to do, which was bad. You know what I'm saying? But because a lot of people got hurt, you know what I'm saying? But even me, including me, like at the end of the day, yo, I did a lot of damage to myself because I was given a picture of who I was supposed to be by others around me, other than giving me information. What they did was stump me with possibilities that were never really meant to soothe or to get me to be me. Right? Valentine's Day is coming up, y'all. Valentine's Day is coming up right around the corner. Um, I'm not. That's all I'm gonna say. What I want to say is this: on my hiatus, when I was out in the Bahama Club or whatever, um, I was thinking about my previous relationships and how I fucked them all up, right? Because that's what happened. Funny, but not funny, right? I came to the realization that most of the relationships that I have been in as an adult, all the women that I was with wanted to change my personality. So I struggled so hard to attempt to appease these women to no avail. It never worked. Because here's what happens. Not only did I understand that I was outside of my real person, but I also understood that here's someone else trying to mold me into the reality that they want me to live in, that they want me to be for them. So, I love you is a selfish phrase. So, again, this holiday's coming up. What I would like to say about that is that if you're with someone and there are things that you don't like about them that they don't want to change, that that's who they are, then you shouldn't be with them. Then you shouldn't make them, because this is what we all know. I know what's going to happen. What's going to happen is they're going to realize that, and they're just going to be them all the time, and you're not going to like it because you never liked them in the first place. You never really loved them in the first place. You don't like what they do. You don't like how they carry themselves. You don't like their involvements. You don't like their friends. So what the fuck are you trying to marry? Like, who are you trying to be? Were you trying to be with your father? You trying to be with your brother? You trying to be with the guy that you see on TV? Vice versa for the men. You're trying to be with a woman that you're making in this world. You think that a person that you try to mold into the way that you want them to be is going to be happy? Think about that. I knew that in all those situations I wasn't happy. So what did I do? I do what I learned. I did what I learned. I destroyed it. I destroyed all of them. Instead of learning from it, instead of trying to say, hey man, this is not what I'm doing. This is not me. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. I destroyed it. Because that's what I learned how to do, was to destroy from early on as a kid, man. That's all we did. So that's what I thought about. I thought about that, and you know, it was a sad video. It was like a quick couple of second video. I might show it, just for um just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And that used to happen to me all the time, right? Get into situations where, because I wasn't assertive, because I know that I'm an altruistic individual, because I know that, you know, I started the video or a video earlier on Facebook where I said I love you more than I love myself, and this is not a lie. That's who I am, and I take away from myself to make those who I love more than myself happier in their lives, other than being assertive and assisting. Pardon me, I'm sorry. Well, that was the water, I guess. from assisting them and learning how to get what they need, if that's what they need. So it's you have to do things on purpose to understand who you are inside, right? Once you understand who you really are, then you'll be able to understand where you need to go and how you're going to get there. Um, so if you don't get those things in order, then you will not understand your purpose on this planet. You will not complete the destiny. In order for you to rest in peace, as they say, you have to do those things in order to make that your reality. Right? The world is the world is the world is the world. It's always going to be this way. When you got here, it was that way. When you leave, it's going to be that way or even worse. Um, so it is very important that you understand how, why your purpose was taken away from you. So I'm going to give an example of some people's purpose, naturally so, without any interruptions from someone who's trying to control them. Okay? Now, anything that's done on the outside of you to benefit someone else other than you is a program, right? That's a program. So when you learn how to make sure that your situation is best for others to involve themselves in when you're at that point, then your outcome should be fine. So some people, like the role, that's what I'm talking about, the role that you were given, that's not your natural purpose. What do you want to be when you grow up? That's what we get back to. So when you see people in a natural setting, okay, no industrialization, no educational system, no medicinal, no medical system, no systems, no government, um, but you have the family unit, complete and whole, where you deal with other family units, complete and whole. You have the purpose that's given to you naturally. However, these are also systems. These are systems as well. So when you understand that you're under a system that is not built to accommodate you to this life, but so that you can accommodate to this life, which is a big difference. But for who? Not for you. Because your entire life you will be serving somebody else and not yourself. Mainly people do it for money. Mainly people do it for other things. So when you meet people and they talk to you real, like, yo, I don't give a fuck about this. I don't care about that. Who gives a fuck about that? I don't give. That person is more freer than anybody you can ever fucking imagine. Oh, you're not worried about your bills? Man, fuck that. I don't care about none of that stuff. So what are you doing? But here's the kicker. So you do what you gotta do to essentially survive in this place, right? But the moment you place your life emphasis and your whole soul and person into that, then you lose the most important thing in your life is your soul. So what is your purpose? What is your purpose? How do you find that out? And when you do find it out, what then? What then? Life isn't about being happy. Life isn't about being rich. Life isn't about being powerful. Life is not about none of that shit. These are the roles that they want you to understand and believe to be true. So therefore you lose yourself in within that system so that you can continuously give energy to that system and not to yourself. Not to the soul that needs that energy to get to where the hell it came from. There is no time that other than here, because time is a concept invented by man. Man, invented by man, right? So your soul didn't invent time. Your soul is timeless, eternal. Man invented time. So if you're here for a certain amount of time, who knows until when, who benefits from that time that you were here? Do you benefit from that time that you were here? Should you have benefited from that time you were here? Ask yourself that question. And what do you do with the benefits that you acquire, with the knowledge and the wisdom that you acquire? What do you do? What decision do you make about that information at that point in time? Do you keep it to yourself? Do you use it to manipulate others? Do you use it to destroy things or the earth? Do you use it to better the earth? Does it really matter what you use that for? Does it? Yeah, it matters to me because it's more. That's what you were taught. You know, Angel, what you mean by share? What that mean? I don't know what that means. Share. But I can see your comments though. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. So these questions are not simple to answer. They're not simple to ask. You know, people don't just sit down. Not anybody that has to live in this life nowadays and ponder the philosophies of the transcendence of the soul. Right? Who does that? That's right. That's right. Exactly right. Exactly. You share it. That's right. That's right. You share. I get you now. That's right. You share it. You share the knowledge that you have so that others can get where they need to be. Period. There is nothing else to it. But what kind of knowledge are you sharing? What understanding, overstanding are you sharing? Is it the right knowledge? Is it correct? How will that knowledge help the individual that you're giving it to? How will they utilize it? Well, you wouldn't know, would you? You don't know how they're going to utilize it. But it's your intent when you're giving the information out that counts. Because everybody can understand how things work once you explain it to them. Once you let them know, once you give them the information um, through through peaceful interaction, right through a hey, did you know this? Or this is what I have, this is what I learned, look at this. Not through enforcing and understanding that is completely hard to even to hold on to than to just give out, um than to even utilize. Like, what's the information for? Why am I going to use it? I don't understand. Most people don't understand. Most people don't understand. Most people don't understand. So once you begin to see that, don't let it, like me right now. I don't care. You know who gets this information. Somebody's gonna get it. It's gonna work for somebody. That's fine by me. I got a lot more stuff to deal with, to talk about than this. But your purpose is not a role. Your purpose is not a role. Your purpose is to love your soul. And then you will understand what your destiny is, what your journey entails. All these external distractions are holding you back from figuring that out because if I'm distracting you and I don't want you to figure something out, why do you think that is? Why do you think I'm distracting you from figuring out what your purpose is? What's the reason? There's a big reason. A big reason. But I think that this information is enough right now so that you can get the ball rolling. So that you can begin to figure it out. And again, listen, don't waste your time on attempting to formulate an exact persona. You don't need that. You already have that. They already gave you that, right? That's not what it's about. It's not about, well, identifying me as such. No, no. You're putting your own self in another categorization, another box of misunderstanding. And the misunderstanding is that you're trying to identify yourself as a being, as a human, as a it, as a product, as a cat. No, 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 no. This I can tell you that is not gonna put you in that soul position. It's not gonna put you there. It's gonna push you farther away. It's gonna make you more confused. It's gonna make you more frustrated, more unhappy, more incomplete, more disgusted about the way you live your life, disgusted about the way you do things. The insults and the just the bad part of your whole entire life. It's gonna bring that to the forefront to do what? To put another block on you understanding what the true purpose of your soul is, not your role. Man, that's fitting in right into everything we're talking about. I'm just saying, right? The words are just coming out, and I'm telling you, this is the purpose. So if you understand just that cohesiveness in my conversation right now, how this is all tied and true. It's all tied and true. It's not. There's no faking about it. Of course, I read books. Of course, I watch videos. Of course, I go and talk to certain people. Of course, because the knowledge that I'm acquiring and the knowledge that I have acquired is through my experiences, and they're also through studying as well. But these are not tools that I use as swords. These are not tools that I use as manipulative factors to make people do. No, no, no. I'm giving you something to think about. I'm giving you something to think about, and that thought should be your transcendence. When I first started making these videos, I used to always tell people, you're gonna die. You're gonna die, and we all gonna die. Remember when you was like younger, you was like 16, 17. I remember when I thought was, listen, I thought I was indestructible. Ask my little brother, right? We all thought we were indestructible, right? We thought we were ended, like nothing could stop us from doing nothing. That's how you have to be. Nothing can stop you. Because naturally, a soul loving person will not want to damage anybody else's happiness or position or whatever they believe in. So yeah, you're not gonna want to step on people's toes, smack people. Of course, you ain't we ain't no punks, right? We ain't no sissies, we ain't no herbs. We handle our business, but that's gonna be so far from your mind, and the people that you're gonna be dealing with are gonna be those on the same plane as you of understanding, and on the same road as you of acquiring knowledge. So you're not going to be dealing with busters and herbs that you're going to smack upside the head and stuff like that. You're not going to be dealing with that because you put yourself in a different, say a different area or a different plane of thought. You just have, right? So when you do that, it goes out and people can see it. Sometimes I went to I went to a little club last night or Sunday. So let me stop saying last night. Um, and I had fun, right? There was people, people, regular people dancing and going crazy, blah blah blah. And after that, I had a massive headache, right? Um, it was crazy. It was crazy, like it was out of control. But to come back to being who I am is very easy, right? I am human, just like everybody else, Mike. Ain't nothing better than me. That ain't nothing that I got that you don't got. None of that. But so yeah, I was doing that, and then I came to, and I'm like, listen, got to get back, to basics and start, the whole thing all over again.
Sorry. Yeah, still.
Still sick, man. Hopefully it'll go away soon. Should try to see the doctor next week. So while I was, interacting, right, I'm listening to people, hearing what they say, looking at what they do, you know, how they dance, um, and wow, it's so different. It's so different. It's so different to see and interact. And sometimes I don't want to talk to. Sometimes I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm not talking to nobody because there's nothing for us to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? I don't even know. We're just talking about stuff just to be talking, to be talking, to be talking, to hear our voice, whatever. But hey, that's with the position you've been put in, and I, I'm human. I gotta talk to people too. I can't. You know, sometimes I really am in a world where everything seems to be blocked off. That doesn't matter to me. What people try to do and all this craziness people are doing to each other. They've been doing to each other. I don't know. I was watching a video today about some guy in some other country that walked into a mall. Did you guys hear about that? Yeah, man. He walked into I don't know if it was a mall, but he walked into some place, and he just started shooting people. You know, um, yeah, that to me is like, you know, when I was a kid, if you had a problem with somebody, you take it to them. You do a little fisticuff. You get your groove on. Listen, nobody died when I was a kid. When I was young, like I say about before I hit the age of 16, when we started carrying guns and knives and stuff. When I was a kid in middle school, I would say middle school, and we would fight, right? We would fisticuff all day. Listen, there was almost not one day that I didn't fight. All day, every day fighting. Every time I went to school, every time I left school, the train, it was fighting time all the time. Listen, I'm telling you, that's not even a joke. You either running or you fighting. You're doing one of the two. Or you're getting jumped or you jumping. Like, it was insane. But we didn't use guns. We didn't use knives. We fought. And some of my best friends I met fighting. You know, the reason people are doing these things is because nobody respects anybody. Nobody, they're taking out the masculinity in the men. You know, Men fight, man. That's what we do. We could be intelligent, we could talk, we can come to an agreement, but if you don't notice all the wars that are happening, and we all know why, or hopefully you do. But in the simplest form of a man, that's what men do. We fight. They show you on TV, they show you in movies, they show you in the news, but when it comes down to you defending they don't let you do it. They lock you up. What is that telling you? Your role and your purpose is not to defend yourself, your own person. So those are some of the things that you should be looking at and saying, wow. Um, but yeah, people who know who they are and what they're doing in life, you know, a lot of those people are ostracized by society. A lot of those people are the eccentric people, or for poor people, we call them the crazy folks, right? You got the people who hear voices, who see things. Oh my gosh, listen. I have some crazy dreams, but I used to see things when I was younger. But I think because all of the blockages that are being created now is some of the reasons why I can't see those things anymore. Um, I can only see them in my dreams, and usually, it's usually a fight. It's usually a fight or flight situation for me in that realm of my life. But I'm not there anymore. I don't think I'm having those issues because I'm thinking that they understand where that I'm starting to understand who I am. I'm omnicosmic. So that in itself is allowing me to understand what my purpose is. Right? It is because I'm starting to understand who I am as a whole. Um, hey, it's been an hour, man. The beginning of this video was insanely messed up, because I was trying to get it together. It's working now. Um, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much, Angel. Whoever else is on here, I can't see your name. My little brother, I love you. You know, um, and I'm gonna just take this video. I might edit it. Somebody's texting me. Orlan, I think somebody texted me. Hold on. So what's next? What's next? Okay, here's what's next. I am going to finally be able to live stream on my phone, outside of being in the house. So I might be in some really nice areas, the beach, something like that, which is gonna be cool. But I also want to say what's next after this is that I am going to do that video over again. I should have it up by the end of what's today? Wednesday. By the end of Sunday. I might even have it up. Yeah, I'm gonna have it up before then. So basically, the only thing different about the video is that it should be scaled, just like you're seeing it now, not small. And then what's gonna happen is I'm gonna have some questions at the end of the video, and if you answer all the questions right, they're not going to be that many questions. I'm not going to make you sit there and go through you know what I'm saying? But I want participation, and then um, once you do that, boom, I'm gonna use a something to figure out who did got all the questions correct and went through all those other things that I've asked for the book. Then I will DM you, I suppose, and tell you won. Um, I would like to thank you, man. What I would like to do, somebody's texting me. So, why do you friends play these games? Who it is here? Okay. What I would like to do is, don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. But if you have to, go ahead. I know it's late. But what I would like to do is, um, I would like to, if you want to, if not, you don't have to, is that when you win the book, I would like for you to take a picture of you in the book, put it on Facebook, and say, hey, I won the book. You know what I'm saying? And thank you so much, because I think it'll be something so that everybody sees, that even that they don't have to understand it, but they know that we're real with it. You know what I'm saying? That we're not playing games. I got the book here. I haven't sent it out, but I'm gonna do the video, make sure I get that up there, and then I'm gonna put the requirements in order to get the book. Okay? And I'm gonna do it on Facebook again. So thank you guys. And remember, man, don't dwell on your role. That has nothing to do with your purpose. Okay? So one love. Love your soul, not your role. This is Omni Cosmic. I love you more than I love myself. One love. I'm out.